Is Edmont still just cruising around the duchy in wolf form during the full moon at this period?
Yeah.
Okay, then Tenny cannot be out during the full moon.
Like that is that
I'm
is
not going to allow those two streams to cross. That's just not happening.
like the one concession. It's like fine, not during a full moon.
What if my familiar went with her? Would she care about that? He's an owl.
I'll say that you probably make that compromise with Tenny, but then the first time you actually try it, she eludes the familiar somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Like she has tricks up her sleeve that you're not privy to.
Well, my familiar, I guess, could watch her without her knowing it.
Uh,
I don't think there's a way you could have a singular owl follow her out in the wilderness for long lengths of time without her realizing it. Especially during the day when owls are not supposed to be out and mobile.
When Tenny is out and about, I can have the binders who would keep an eye. Edmont use his his things to do pass without trace to keep tabs on her.
I guess I would allow it if someone was watching her.
And Edmont points this out when Tenny is no longer in the room.
Yeah. I mean, that might be okay.
Evie,
If she's not really... Yep.
make a deception check.
Uh-huh.
If you're going to tell Tenny that she can go out by herself, but then secretly arrange for her to be watched by Edmont or some of the other werewolves or your owl or whatever.
That's going to be a 28 on deception.
Okay.
I mean, never to play poker with you.
Is Edmont doing any of this babysitting himself, or is this all getting outsourced to werewolves and familiars and things?
I don't know that I want to let the werewolves do it.
Edmont will take it on himself.
Okay.
and as part of this, Jeannie would give her sending stones to be like, if you need help, please call. And then
Well, if helps half a day away, it might not help.
You give Tenny a sending stone?
yeah,
Okay, then she takes it, and then when she's out of town, she ditches it somewhere.
like she just ditches an expensive magic item.
No, she puts it in a place where on her way back she can pick it up again.
Okay,
It's not a infusion.
it is an infusion, but it's
Tenny's not stupid.
like
I don't think we're gonna get her with the expensive magic item gills.
There ain't any way Tenny's gonna be able to see Edmont doing his thing.
No, definitely not Edmont. Evie's owl almost certainly over the course of a couple days, but not Edmont. Edmont.
Sir.
You observe two things over as the months wear on. There's no any actual incidents. She never does get into more trouble than she can handle. Once or twice, she misidentifies a plant and then has the shits for 2 days. That kind of stuff happens.
Yeah.
Once or twice, she overestimates her ability to trap a particular kind of animal and gets a scrape that she wasn't intending. That kind of stuff. You guys have more or less run the most horrific monsters out of the area. You are putting the duchy to civilization. Two things worth noting over the course of the next few months. One, is that Tenny is practicing magic rituals that do not conform to any of Edmont's understanding of any sort of magic that anybody in your family can use. It's not prayer, it's not miracle, it's not your fueled house magic. And some of these rituals look a little scary. They involve animal blood or bones. They involve doing strange ritualistic dances and things in the wilderness. And all of this is things that she's being instructed by her Tutor Bieta. The other thing worthy of note is on 2 separate occasions, she meets somebody in the woods. A woman that you recognize as Florina Reichert.
Raven chick, right?
Florina Riker?
She's the Raven lady.
Mm,
Yeah, that's the Raven lady, I think.
The one Victor threatened to hang.
yeah.
No, the one I threatened that you would hang.
It's the same thing.
These meetings are very, very brief. You're not able to view them from close enough to hear what is said. But something changes hands between them. And that's it. On both meetings, Florina just takes her leave and they part. And when Tenny's little camping trip is done and she comes home, she retrieves the sending stone from the knot hole in whatever tree. That way she can show Jeannie, see, I took it. I didn't need it. You don't need to give this to me anymore.
Jeannie would frown at her. It's not because I don't trust you.
Mm-hmm. So I guess the question for Edmont is, are you going to tattle?
I'm not going to tattle directly. I'm going to express concern with my brother after swearing him to secrecy, and get his opinion on the matter.
And you don't know what kind of magic it was?
No, nothing I've ever practiced or seen
Was she
practiced.
touching her house relic at the time?
Nope.
She is, actually. She's using her house.
She is?
Yeah. It's still magic spells that she's practicing, and she's from a world where that doesn't work without her house relic.
Yeah.
Her house relic, I forget if we've established what it actually was, but it's very, very different from any of yours. Where you guys preferred mostly things that symbolize your house, like magnifying glasses and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
She prefers just natural elements, bits of shiny rock and dried flowers and things of that nature. But yes, she does need her house relic even when she's doing these bizarre looking rituals.
Okay.
I'll catch my what's at sorry, I'm allergic to unseelie magic. What's my brother's take on it?
I mean, I don't interact with Tenny as much as I do. Do you still trust Tenny?
I see no reason not to.
Well, in that case, I would say continue trusting Tenny.
Sure. But you understand why I wouldn't want to go directly to Evie.
Yeah,
right?
no, Evie will blow up over that.
Yeah. Okay. Glad I wasn't
No,
mistaken.
you're not wrong. Like that, Evie would absolutely blow up over this. I'm concerned, but as long as you still trust her, I don't see a reason to. Maybe at some point you could bring it up to her, but you'd have to let her know that you were spying on her, and she's never going to trust you again. So
Yeah. The other concern I have is her friend, as it were. Edmont explains.
yeah. Well, we haven't seen them since. Oh, it's been 2 years.
Getting close to.
I would really like to have been able to say anything to that group, but I don't know what's going on with it.
Well,
I mean, maybe somehow we can work out a way to go through Tenny to talk to them again, because we desperately need to do that, in my opinion. But
agreed. For the time being, I don't think there's much we can do about that. So
Yeah.
All right. That's where we'll leave it.
Okay. So you let Evie wallow in ignorance when it comes to these bizarre rituals and her meeting with Florina.
Yeah.
Evie,
Mm-hmm.
Tenny comes to you one day,
Yep.
which probably doesn't happen most days.
Okay.
But she tells you that the birds have told her that your order is doing good work.
You can talk to the birds.
You can't?
I've never tried.
Well, someone ought to.
What kind of birds?
And that's when she starts to slip back into being a brat. And it's not really her fault that you don't know one bird from another. Like, there's all different kinds of birds out there. If you would leave the manor once in a while and go look. Also, she stops eating meat. And she is very, very annoying about it. All the time.
Oh, God.
Excellent. I approve. I, the player, approve. Like, Edmont didn't give one shit one way or the other.
But apparently, whatever you've done with establishing this Order of the Silver Tree, the birds are in approval of it.
Oh. God, what's his name say? Zachiel Dantes. He said that the birds were spies for somebody? Is that what he said?
He did. Is there anything else Evie is doing with Tenny? No matter what you do, she's just a different kind of completely insufferable brat now.
I guess I mean, I want to... One thing Evie wants to do with Tenny that, maybe Ruby didn't do when Evie was growing up is she's trying to be more understanding. So no matter what Tenny does, Evie tells Tenny that basically she's going to teach her about life, about a lot of the life lessons that she's learned living in this horrible place, having to, be a duchess before she was ready, and just kind of try to pass on that knowledge to Tenny. So she'll tell Tenny, that she loves her, that she's proud of her, that she should never let anyone talk down to her, not even Evie. She should never let anyone tell her she can't do anything, even Evie, that she should always believe in herself.
And I mean,
that doesn't mean you disobey orders, but it means that you believe in yourself and you understand your own power.
Don't worry about anyone's opinions except mine, because I'm correct. But
and she feigns listening, and she rolls her eyes, and yeah, I got it, kind of acknowledgement.
So, yeah, actually, one day, Evie is going to ask. Evie's going to want to get in touch with Sedgwick and Ray at some point during this 2 years. So one day she'll ask Tenny to help her catch a raven so that she can tie a message to the raven's leg.
Tenny absolutely refuses to help you catch a raven.
And Evie asks why.
She tells you that the ravens don't like being locked up any more than she does.
Well, I'm not going to lock the raven up. I'm going to ask the raven to do me a favor.
The ravens don't owe you anything, and you don't have anything to offer them.
Do you know what I could give the raven that would make them want to help me?
She says if she did, she wouldn't tell you.
Well, this is the way that Sedgwick and Ray told me to get in touch with them.
I really like role-playing a 12-year-old. It's a lot of fun.
the thing is you're not role-playing a 12-year-old. 12-year-olds are not this bad.
Some of them are. You wouldn't necessarily need Tenny's help to trap a raven, but no, she's not going to help you do it at all. And she's not going to like it if she finds out you did.
Treble, just be grateful he's not giving you both barrels.
No, trapping
guess
a raven.
it's-
You can. I mean, you can just send word out to one of your. You've got hunters and trappers and furriers and things.
Yeah. At some point in this 2 years, I think Evie will have a sit down with Beata just to see if anything about where her magic came from shakes loose.
Okay. Beata's feeling is that, I mean, when you start to, presuming you don't stand in Tenny's way of her training at all, which it sounds like nobody is. Edmont's the only one who has cause to, and he's decided not to.
I mean, Evie is she picked up some bad vibes from it before. She's glad that Tenny is enjoying it. She doesn't think Beata has bad intentions, but she wants to know more about this magic and what it all means to her.
Make me an Arcana check. You do have spellcaster level. Nobles are spellcasters.
Yes, I am, but I do not have. I'm not trained in Arcana.
And then it's just going to be what, straight intelligence?
Yeah.
You would have your headband back by now.
Okay. That's gonna actually. I can re-roll this because I have an ability that lets me do that. That's gonna be a 17.
Beata's explanation is that the source of her magic is the source of all magic. That the magic of nature is great and terrible at once. It is as nourishing as a summer rain, and it is destructive as surging floodwaters. The source of her magic is the same magic that gives flight to the butterfly's wings, but also which launches burning stones forth from volcanic calderas. And she cannot tell you what Tenny will choose to do with this magic or training. She is not able to sufficiently describe what it's like being a druid to somebody who has absolutely no framework for what that means.
Okay, but I don't pick up with her that she has like macabre witchcraft. That doesn't seem to be what she's talking about.
Not like Halloween witches, but like dancing naked in the forest witches. Like Blair Witch kind of.
Yeah, I mean that's still not great, but
It's fine.
well, I tell her that I love my sister very much and I want what's best for her, and I think you do too. And I appreciate everything you've done for her, but if anything is ever amiss, I want you to feel like you would be comfortable coming to me. You don't have to keep secrets from me.
She nods and tells you that if that's your will, Duchess.
And then
But
she'll say
she
you know,
doesn't
she
share
told-
any secrets with you.
Yeah, and I'll say she told me that the birds told her that my order was doing good work. Do you know what that means?
She tells you that lots of birds have lots of opinions on things.
I'm wondering if she might have specific opinions about ravens.
Beata?
Yeah. Because Evie's heard enough things about ravens that she wants to talk to an expert.
She's not an expert in ravens by any stretch, but she knows them to be the most duplicitous of all birds.
I thought that ravens were considered good omens in Ravenloft.
Amongst some people's, maybe, but
Okay.
not
So
her
some people,
specifically.
for some they're good, for some they're duplicitous. Evie leaves with more questions than answers as usual.
Yeah, druids suck.
There's another matter that Evie would be corresponding about across these 2 years.
Okay.
She's going to want to be keeping in touch with, as I said, Cedric and Ray, and also Von Richten. Just to keep an ongoing correspondence with them, let them know they are welcome to come to our duchy anytime they're considered friends. But from Cedric and Ray, she's actually going to inquire a lot about. She won't use the word mirror in her missives, but the device. And basically, she is testing the waters if another device like that could be constructed.
Oh, they wouldn't know how, but they'll put their ear to the ground. As far as Van Richten goes, conversations with him are polite but very distant, and he rejects any offer or invitation to come back to Silverbow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I'm just gonna keep that relationship open.
Very good. All right, 40 weeks of downtime actions out of Xanathars. Is everybody...
Okay, so I want everybody else to spend all the money they want, and I'll take whatever's left. And I will leave some for the future.
Okay.
So let me know what-
You're gonna have to make a case for why all of that money needs to go straight to you.
Well, let me see how
Hey,
what everyone else
look,
makes. Everyone else's expenditures, I think, are less than mine.
Well, maybe some people will use their downtime actions to make more money. Let's see how it goes. Let's start with Victor.
Victor is going to train some skills.
Okay.
Specifically, especially after his tryst with the Vistani, he's going to train Deception, Persuasion, Insight, and Performance.
Oh, that's ongoing. That tryst is still existing.
Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah. But after
That's not
his journey
over.
was an inspiration.
So you're training how many skills?
4 skills, 10 weeks each.
Is that out of...
Yeah,
Is that
it's
a-
training
is
second to
that-
last one in the book.
Oh, I'm opening the wrong book. That's why I can't find it.
Yeah, it's 10 weeks each. Because my intelligence is not right.
And you have... It costs money, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
It's going to cost a total of 1,000 gold. I have 200 on me, and then whatever our party brought in.
And you're training... Persuasion, Deception, Insight, and what?
Performance.
Performance. What kind of performance? Just... Oh, no, this is a skill, not a tool. Training.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So performance as in the performance skill. Okay. What about Edmont?
Edmont is spending 18 weeks training survival the skill and also learning Falkovnian.
Okay. Falkovnian?
Yeah.
Are you the only one in the party that can speak Falkovnian?
I think now, yeah.
Okay.
And then the remaining 22 weeks is working with painter's tools. I did those rolls earlier in the session. Use it off of the table, and and I came up with 175 gold, which has been added.
Okay. That's on top of the specialty portraits we spoke about
Yeah.
earlier.
Correct.
All right. What about Jeannie?
Jeannie is going to spend the time. The thing that she wants to do is she wants to make sure that. What is there are no rules in 5th edition for like mastercraft equipment, is there?
No.
Boo. Jeannie
Which is
wants
good
to,
because Mastercraft equipment is dumb.
it's dumb.
It's dumb.
Yeah, it's dumb. Yeah. Jeannie wants to make a very I guess this would just be normal thing, so she could make this in like a day, which is stupid. But she wants to make a wood steel quarterstaff and a wood steel short bow for Tinny, and then a wood steel shield with the symbol for the order for Orson.
Okay.
She wants to do that as part of that. She wants to spend 11 days scribing the rest of her free scrolls. That is just for thing. That's 2 invisibility scrolls, 2 see invisibility scrolls, and 7 tiny servant scrolls.
Okay.
That'll take 11.75 days, so 12 days. So that whole thing, that's like 2 weeks
Okay.
total, I guess, something like that.
38 weeks remain.
38 weeks remain. Dude, is this the point where I just make everybody flying boots?
Sure.
Keep in mind, or do those require attunement?
Yes, I do believe.
I'm already capped out on attunement slots.
Would you? So you're telling me you would keep the ring of X-ray over the ability to fly?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to make.
I'm a monk.
He doesn't need to fly.
Victor wants to fly.
Flying would only slow him down.
Well, he lets you fly up to your movement speed. But yeah, I would like to craft. One, two. I would like to. I would like to craft a permanent sending stone and a single permanent pair of winged boots, and the rest of the time I would like to just kind of dedicate to building arms, making arms and equipment for the Order of the Silver Tree.
Okay.
And like building them out, like getting them equipped, because I can do that I can make basically like first level arms and equipment pretty easily.
We'll just call that work.
Yeah.
And then instead of taking the wages for yourself, just convert the wages into things out of the PHB that you're building in terms of arms and equipment.
Let's see.
Like shields and swords and things like that.
But like that's separate. So that's basically like that's me like manufacturing like basic stuff, but like the shield for Orson and then the two weapons for Tenny, that's like their birthday presents. Genie is putting like a lot of extra effort into that.
Sure.
If we can model that, I don't know if we can model that somehow, but like, yeah, like they're intricately carved and all kinds of nonsense. Very nice. But yeah, okay, I'll do the math on the work.
All right.
Because that's it's like 30 weeks of work.
Evie.
Basically, D20 per week, and basically anything over 15 gets you 25 gold.
Yeah. Okay. Let me do the math here,
Evie.
and then I will get back to you.
Downtime actions.
I'm gonna need a little bit of help from you on this because you gave me a skill that let me learn languages faster, and I'm not sure exactly how much faster now that my intelligence is really high. So I think I can learn a language in a week now.
Okay.
Okay, so
Are you going to learn 40 languages?
Well, no, she's going to learn the ones we know about. She's going to learn Lamordian, Falcovian, and Barovian.
Okay.
And then I think she's going to train in short sword, and she's going to train in sleight of hand. So that's going to be 12 weeks. That's a total of 15. I think she's going to
Are you able to train a weapon like that?
All I need is someone to teach it to me, right?
Does that count as... I'm just making sure that training will...
Is that not one that counts under Xanathar's? Training.
I don't see a reason to not allow it. It specifically says learn a language or pick up proficiency with a tool.
Oh.
But I don't see why you couldn't use it to train.
Yeah, you let Edmont take training in a whip.
That's right, I did. So
With
yeah,
the same- yeah.
you can do that.
Yeah. And then I would ask Ekon to turn my stone dagger into a stone short sword.
Yeah, that's just a
Yeah.
spell slot.
Mm-hmm. And then I think the remainder of her 25 weeks she's going to spend researching various things.
Research. Okay.
She's going to research, I think, probably 10 weeks of research looking into the mirror. Then, I guess, 15 weeks of research looking for anything that would help the family get home.
All avenues of searching for a way home lead to nothing in these 2 years.
Okay, so
let's
don't
use your
use the
15 weeks somewhere else.
Okay. I don't know how to spend the rest of that then.
Now, remember that each week of research requires at least 50 gold
Oh, that's a lot of money.
on materials, bribes, gifts, and other expenses.
Okay, so let's dial that back to 5 weeks of research on the mirror then.
On the mirror? Okay.
Yeah. And then that leaves me
And
20 weeks.
how much gold are you putting into it?
The 50 a week.
All right, let's get an intelligence check, please.
Sure.
Well, I guess
Am I allowed to?
one per week.
Okay. Am I allowed to use my reroll on this?
What is the nature of your rerolls? It's just like reroll.
It lets me reroll an ability check. That's
How often?
all it does. Once per long rest.
Yeah, you could use it on all 10 of these then, if you wanted.
I don't think I'm making 10.
Like you said, you're doing it for 10 weeks, didn't you?
Oh, I said I scale it back to 5 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's gonna be a 24 on the first one.
So that's 3 pieces of lore. I mean, you got the table in front of you. You can make a note of how many pieces of lore you learn.
25 on another one.
It's another 3 pieces.
Uh, 20. 22. And another 22. And this one's only a 6.
So how much lore total is that using that table in Xanathars?
Need to look here. I think that's 12 total.
Okay, so record somewhere that you've got those 12 that you can cash in on various things.
Okay.
Here's the trick.
Mm-hmm.
Learning lore like this in a typical D&D world would require, like, you have access to a particular library that the knowledge and things are in place to be learned in the first place. This campaign is taking place in a world that is specifically materializing things to be learned and secrets to be discovered for the purpose of tormenting Evelyn. So that lore can be bent to that end. You can cash in these pieces of lore specifically to learn things about Aslan himself, things that he's done in the history of Darkon, things that he owns or is capable of which this mirror is but one example.
So I can cash these in for knowledge about the mirror or for knowledge about Aslan.
I would say you've got 12 pieces of lore you can cash in to just say, I know this particular thing about Aslan.
Okay.
So you have, at the end of this 2 years, Evie has considerable knowledge about kind of the extent of his power and how dangerous he is and some of the wars that he's waged, all kinds of things. And she can be somewhat confident that he doesn't know she's been poking around to that extent.
Okay. I mean, she's trying to be careful about it, but at this point in her career, Evie has pretty much decided, if possible, she is going to try to oppose Aslan.
That leaves you with 20 weeks by my count.
Yeah. What do I need to do with those other 20 weeks?
You just relax.
I mean, that seems like a waste.
Hit fighting, earn some money, kill Darkwood.
I can't hit fight. I'm the Duchess.
That's exactly why you should. Everyone would be scared to stab you.
It says in the book, relaxation rarely comes with complications. Does Ekon know how he's spending his 40 weeks?
Sort of. Has everyone else taken their money off of the party sheet?
I haven't taken mine off yet, but I will.
Go ahead and do that real quick, and then I will start with a prioritized list I've been working on.
Okay.
Alright. So, to just be able to cast all of my spells that I can't currently cast because I do not have the material components that are not consumed, I need another 1,800 gold pieces. That's 100 gold pieces for Dawn, 500 gold pieces for Summon Celestial, 200 gold pieces for Legend Lore, and a 1,000 gold piece mirror for our manor. Is everyone okay with that?
Actually, one of the things can I do? It can since I'm doing the work, can I might be able to put some of this work I'm doing towards, like, say, your scrying vessel.
I'll say that
I
you
have-
can bend that work that you're doing towards bolstering the order or towards Ekon's goals, but not both. You'll have to pick one.
Because there's, like, going to be a lot of overlap here. Like, these are going to be the most well-equipped men in the world.
Okay. But what Ekon's doing is separate from the
Gotcha.
Order of the Silver Tree.
That is perfectly fine.
Okay, so I'm just gonna take that 1,800 off now if no one has any objections. All right.
We have 1,800.
We have 13,000.
Oh, okay. I'm bad at parsing 100 versus 1,000, apparently.
So, for spells that I need materials that will be consumed to cast, I was hoping to spend. Reduce this a bit. 2,500. No, I can do 20. That's 500 gold pieces for Raise Dead and Greater Restoration. 500 gold pieces for Legend Lore. Oh, you know what? I can take the Legend Lore and the Hallow out of the garden. Give me a second to do that. So that actually means I only have to spend 1,000 gold on that. Okay, so far I've spent 2,800. The very first thing I want to do is, hopefully with Genie's instruction, though I am trained in Arcana, Religion, and have a ton of spells, I would like to spend 2,000 gold pieces and 4 weeks of time to craft a magical item.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, not 4 weeks of time. Wrong column. 10 weeks of time.
Okay.
I would like to craft the Staff of Healing.
Oh boy, is that the DMG?
Yes. Does anyone, including Brick, have an objection to me doing that?
I forget exactly what it does, but it sounds like a great idea.
All right, I've
No, but
retrieved
the-
my DMG from the tunnel. Let's see how bad Destil's about to break my campaign again.
What's the first thing
Yeah,
that
this
costs?
is pretty. That's pretty good.
He's gonna heal bonk. Gonna get heal bonks.
So Tenny could use this apparently.
It might be.
I
Really
would
good for
also,
her.
I would also suggest that you might want to consider allowing the Artificer to attune to it, since I think those are all on their list. They just didn't exist when that was printed. But I mean, I'm planning to just grab it, keep it on me.
All the spells that can be cast from the staff are on the Artificer list. Is that
I
what you're
don't know
saying?
about Mass Cure. Do you know Treble?
No, it's not on the list, I don't think.
Okay, so probably not then.
1, 2, 2.
But yeah, I mean, Cleric, Druid, Paladin, maybe? I don't know what the third is.
Yeah, you can create this if you've got.
Yep.
It's expensive.
Okay.
It's a rare item, so it's very expensive. But
Yeah, it's a quarter of my downtime. Big chunk of money.
almost
Okay.
certainly, this is an item that's going to kind of become, in the town and the surrounding duchy, is going to become synonymous with Ekon himself. This is a very strong item indeed.
Yeah, it'll be an ashen staff, and the head will have, the kind of natural Gandalf things wrapping around a depiction of Air's Crystal Tower.
Okay.
Figured you'd make it out
with-
of silver.
Oh, you know what? Silverwood. Yeah, Silverwood works better for this. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Now we're down to stuff I need to be able to cast spells that gets burnt. Oh, I already went over that. Good. All right, so here's the scrolls I'm interested in. Greater Restoration. I think we should always have one of those on tap. That costs 5,100 and takes 4 weeks.
Doesn't your staff do that?
Not Greater Resto.
Oh.
It's a 5th level spell, buddy.
That's a big boy.
Does anyone mind me spending 5,100 on Greater Resto?
I mean, that's a lot of money for a scroll we might never use.
Do you really want to be around when we need it and we don't have it?
When did how many times have we been in a situation where we needed something that wasn't covered by Lesser Resto? Let's be
lot.
honest. A lot.
Yeah.
Do you want to wait until tomorrow morning after you get petrified?
All right.
Okay, that was the big one. Let's see. I can skimp on that one.
I mean, I
I
understand,
would-
like, you want to have a scroll of Raised Dead around in case you die. Like, okay, that makes sense.
I can't use that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can anyone else use a
We have
scroll?
a, we have a
raised
scroll of Revivify in
Uh,
case I die, so
Tenny
you
can.
got to be really on the ball. Oh, wait. Did I use my Revivify scroll? Let me look. Do I need to make another one of those? I need to make another Revivify scroll. I believe that's 600. So I'm going to make a Revivify scroll for 600.
Ekon's
so
an
the greater
expensive bait,
resto,
you guys.
He is.
He's eating all of our money.
the greater resto scroll took 4 weeks. Revivify takes a week, and then everything else is relatively cheap. I was going to make a scroll of tongues because I feel like occasionally, well, Harvey's learned a bunch of languages. I can drop that. I was going to make a scroll of remove curse. It only costs 500.
Yeah, that's fine.
Another one, like, I don't want to prepare it every day, but it'll be nice when we have it. And finally, I would love to make a scroll of stone shape, but that's 2,500. That's another one that, like, I prepare it a lot, but like we've been in a couple of places where can you stone shape today, and I just didn't have it.
Yeah, I can see that. And it's not expensive.
So 2,500 for stone shape. I'm also spending 9 weeks. Wait, hold on. I gotta track how, because I did time based on doing all the stuff, which I didn't have enough money for. So it's 2 weeks, 1 week. All right, I'll give you a grand total here in a second. For
Sure.
it's 4 weeks.
Clerics are expensive bitches.
It's a week. Finally, I would like to spend, and I've already marked this off. I'm going to spend 225 gold pieces and 9 weeks to become proficient with Mason's tools, so that I can make cool things when I stone shape.
Okay.
Like do more than just basic shapes, so they can actually be
Minecraft.
All right. So that says that I am spending. Where's the staff? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's 27 weeks at this point spent, which means I've got 13 left. I will spend the 13 doing gem cutting to make some money unless anyone needs anything else done.
Is gem cutting one of the downtime actions?
Just taking the jobs with my tools.
Oh, okay. So count it as work then.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. I work.
All right. So that just leaves us
So
with the 20 weeks that Evie still has left unaccounted for.
You'll use that
And
on poison, and I'll figure that stuff out. Unless you want me to itemize exactly what poisons I'm making.
So you're going to spend the 20 weeks making poison?
Yeah.
Does anybody still have work
All right.
weeks unaccounted for?
Nope.
And then I got to roll my money making.
Yeah, unless Victor can borrow the headband for training, he's tapped out.
Yeah, the headband's
I got
probably
the
already
training
getting
pick
along.
on.
That's
all
headband's
sweaty.
probably getting around a bit, yeah. That's why I just
so I got-
didn't even factor it in.
More of these. 1. Yep. 2. Nope. 3.
I think
Yep.
it's like the pull cord. It has the pull cord like Lucius's Artificer staff that he got from Alexander.
75 gold pieces.
Okay.
You got to get them thinkles on. You got to pull the cord.
Well, you know, I had to spend a week downtown to. What just happened?
I'm updating the money after what I've just spent.
Oh, okay.
Has anybody during this time made an effort to remain in contact at all with Zaquiel? From the
Jeannie
lake.
has. Like, Jeannie has a relationship with him in the sense that, you know, like she
Victor
would have
was-
sent word. She would have sent word to him.
Okay.
I mean, Victor would have talked to him during his whole Vistani thing, but I don't think exactly I liked him very much.
I don't think Zaquiel liked any of us very much.
Jeannie, your conversations with Zaquiel over the 2 years are amicable enough, you suppose, but you don't ask anything large of each other during the time. Zaquiel, of course, is benefiting from all of the trade and improvements that are being done in Silverbow, but he's not particularly grateful for it. And then for the past 6 or 7 months or so, it's just been no word at all, really. And that's not necessarily a worrying thing. It's just like, you know, you used to keep in touch with this dude on Discord, and then you just haven't for a long time.
Last online 6 months ago.
And you're kind of thinking about that. Like, oh man, I haven't actually seen anything with Zaquiel for a while. And the next day, a letter arrives. Brought to you by a raven in Sedgwick's hand, House Veritas's assistance is urgently needed at Lake Roduff, and that you should ride out the 6 of you immediately.
It's Sedgwick asking?
It's in Sedgwick's hand, yes.
Oh, yeah, he's a friend. We'll go help him. Sure.
Yeah.
So after 2 years of working and gem cutting and yelling at Tenny, adventure calls once again. Arriving at Lake Roduff, the little village, much as you left it. Their main enterprise, as you'll recall, is kind of dredging the lake and letting Zach Wheel pick out things of interest to him. There's been no squabbling or conflict with Zach Wheel or his people over the past couple of years. Upon arrival, you meet some slight resistance at the door. Zach Wheel's people are more paranoid and mistrustful, but that's soon swept aside. Sedgwick and Ray have apparently already arrived in the village and have given them orders to let you come up to Zach Wheel's tower. This squat little 3-floor tower that he cast an illusion of himself out of the window, as you recall, because he was too busy to meet you in person. You're taking up to Zach Wheel's bedchamber. And entering the place, the smell of the room, this very sickly sweet odor of too much potpourri that hasn't been changed often enough.
Very good.
Sedgwick greets you as you come in the room. You guys have made an effort to keep in contact with him over the years, so you're still on excellent terms. Their opinion of you guys was very high, as I recall.
They thought we were, or had the potential for great quality, I believe was their words.
Zach Wheel lays abed, asleep. And he looks unwell. He looks very sick indeed.
Wrong with
A couple of strange apparatuses in the room. One is this freestanding device on a pole next to the bed with a tube snaking down off of it, one going into Zach Wheel's right nostril, and one tucked up under the covers going into an orifice somewhere lower on his body. The other apparatus in the room looks like something cobbled together out of barrels, if we're being honest. It's large, and it looks like it had to have been constructed inside the tower. It's too big to have fit through the door. Like the size of a giant wardrobe, almost. With little bits and bobs coming off of it in all different shapes and sizes all around. You're brought up to speed. Zach Wheel fell ill months and months ago. He's been in a coma. The affliction is magical in nature, and that's all anybody knows. Sedgwick and Ray received word, came to see if they could perhaps help him, spent some time researching the illness, doing examinations, and they built this device to assist in Zach Wheel's recovery. And that's when they thought of you 6. Because now they need somebody to pilot the device and agree to be shrunken down and go into Zach Wheel's bloodstream to root out the magical cause of his illness.
Thank you, Destil.
And you're assured it's all perfectly safe.
I've heard that one before.
Probably.
That one too.
How much do we
Well, I
like this
mean, at
guy?
the very least, if we succeed, then he will be in our debt.
And that's
Do
what
you
we're going
really
to do for
think
the week.
he'll honor that debt?
Don't be such a negative Nancy.
I'm a realistic Ralph.
Oh,
You're
one
a
last
Debbie
thing.
Downer.
So with the incense grown in the greenhouse, I have cast Hallow on our graveyard, such that creatures interred there can never be raised as undead.
That's fair.
It's like 1,000. It's like a big radius, isn't it?
No, it's a 60-foot radius.
Oh, it's a 60-foot radius. For some reason, I was thinking it was 1,000 feet.
I got it here.
But we now have hallowed ground, officially.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to leave it for the week. I did promise a lighthearted adventure with no horror checks after the trauma of Ludendorff.
It was traumatic.
So I'm going to go dark for 2 seconds while you guys think of some blips. I posted the straw poll link in the chat. I'll be back in just a moment.
It was most creative today. Because Edmont was spin doctoring his creepy guy.
Yeah,
Well, I'd say.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's how close is everyone to level? I'm like 8,000 away still.
I think I needed 6 blips to get there.
Oh, I leveled last time, so
So did I.
the
Let's go up.
value of blips have changed.
Flips go up.
Have they? I thought there was a long stretch where they didn't.
They went up probably not as much as they were at, but they're
Actually, you know what? I
higher.
think they will stay the same going to the next level because it's same gap between 12 and 13 to 14. But who furthered the party's goals the most today?
It's everybody. So, let's see.
I got us so we can go back to Ludendorff or we can go to the zombie apocalypse.
I want to give that one to Evie, but I want to give intangibles to Victor for sure for the tryst.
Why is Evie the one driving the party's goals?
Kept the lights on. Like that one, like everybody, I think has an equal claim to. Well,
Yeah.
So if you don't want it, you could give it to somebody else. I don't want any of the blips today.
I'd probably give it to Ekon maybe for religious. I don't know.
I mean, I was the one that made sure that we actually got paid our taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for getting taxes.
And I spent all of it.
Like for raising money, yeah. Party goals for raising all of that money and then
Yeah.
like, grinding it
Yeah,
all,
we have
snorting
2,000 left after all that.
grinding all that money up and snorting it.
First order
There's
of
a
business.
2,500 scroll I dropped that I wanted to make. But...
First order of business. Usually the rule is you can change your alignment, ideal, or flaw, or you can claim it for a blip, but you can't do both in the same session. But given that this was a very long period of time, one-time only offer, free change on alignment, ideal, or flaw that you can also claim this session if you like. Any takers on that?
I'll take it.
Ekon.
Genie is shaking it.
I'm going to change my ideal to will make it out somehow. And
Make it out
claim
somehow.
it for having redoubled his effort, not caring so much that it seems like nobody's actually taking up on the religion anymore. Before he would have been quite upset by it, but at this point it's more like, okay, well, we're not going to be here long enough for it to really matter anyway.
Okay. Any other changes? Genie, you had one?
Yes, Genie's alignment is shifting towards neutral. As she makes the efforts to she's trying to make an effort to be less to be better than she was, to take things a little slower and just smooth out some of her flaws, essentially. Like she's always been like acutely aware of like what's wrong with her, she just didn't care. And now she's trying to make an effort into caring,
Okay.
essentially.
Is the actual phrasing of the alignment changing, or just the alignment itself?
Just try to be better than I was yesterday. Neutral. Try to be better than I was yesterday. So it's a different alignment.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope. The rest of her ideal is the same. Her flaw is the same.
Are you claiming that alignment this session?
Yes.
Okay. Any other takers on changes?
I don't think I'm changing. I've changed mine a bunch
Done.
already.
I'm happy where mine are.
Edmund's like, no, I love being evil. All right. Well, who wants to make their case to me first then?
I can go.
Jeannie, I have one for your alignment already.
Yeah, try to be better than I was yesterday for siding, like encouraging the creation of Evie's order of warriors, the defenders of the weak, because it would, like, even if we leave, that is something that would leave the world in a better state. My ideals, practical solutions to impractical problems. Let's like, I can't do all this work by myself. I'm the only qualified person here. This is not tenable. Let's
make more qualified people.
Let's make more qualified people. And then the video. I don't have anything for my flaw.
Okay.
Well, no, that's not a flaw. That's just her deciding to not worry to. Yeah. So just the video.
Ekon, did you have any other claims to make other than your new ideal?
Yeah, so I've got Lawful Good, the Shining Words of Air, lay down a path for us all for spending time and money in the villages of the horrible people he cast Cure Raise Dead for to try and also improve the lot of their people.
Okay.
I had my ideal, which I already claimed, and I've got my flaw. I'm sure there has to be something good just over the next hill for his interpretation of the At Sunset painting.
Pretty sure that there's not just more zombies over the next hill.
Yeah.
How many more zombies could there be in Valkovnia?
All right. Who wants to go next?
I can go.
Victor?
So for a flaw, values knowledge over people, that would be putting the Vistani above Evie and everybody else's wishes. They obey the laws.
So famously, the way that the deal is described in the books, because Strahd insists that the Vistani pay him taxes, just because that's one of his things. And the deal that he lands on is, in exchange, the families of Vistani that are based in Barovia will act as his spies. That's kind of where they've landed on it. Of course, Victor wouldn't know anything about that, because it's just a nice piece of trivia for Ravenloft. There's a whole chapter in Strahd where he's like negotiating with the Vistani because like he just can't stand the idea that there's somebody in his lands not paying him taxes.
That's why he's Strahd.
That's why he's Strahd.
So for ideal, seek the truth no matter the cost. That would be deciding to develop a relationship to travel in mists, which includes befriending criminals and assassins and all the darker elements.
Which you have not just made use of at all.
No, but it's on my character sheet now.
Well, you could.
And I might.
That will come. That
Depo's Evie.
To be clear, that will come with a dark powers check.
That's fine. Everything else interesting does.
Is that it?
No. For alignment, whatever it takes, that would be getting involved in a relationship with the Vistani.
Okay. I'm sure nothing bad will come of that.
Of course not. No evil eyes at all, I'm sure.
Evie, what do you have for me?
Alignment chaotic good. I will do my duty, but I will always be true to myself for founding the Order of the Silver Tree. Ideal, I must become a leader that others can believe in for her, for her talk with Tenny about trying to teach her about the world. And flaw, no one understands for her, like, increasing, I guess, I'm not going to quite call it an obsession, but it's getting there with getting back at Aslan for what he's done.
Aslan's done nothing wrong. He's fine.
He sold me to a mad scientist.
He sold my sister's flesh rights when she wasn't even dead yet.
That was like 2 years ago. What has he done to you lately?
Right? I'm sure he's very sorry.
And last but not least, the new map.
Oh, yes. New maps. What does Edmont have for me?
My alignment, lawful evil, blood runs thicker than water, and my own blood thicker still, for putting his head down and doing the artwork that he was doing. Wait. Yeah, no, that's it. I had all this like laid out in my head, and then I was like, wait, did I miss something up here?
Okay.
But yeah, no, for doing all the artwork, despite the fact that people were pretty snotty and awful.
Anything else?
I have my ideal. Life is my canvas, and I will make my mark on it for just his general artwork and his interpretations of the art that he purchased from for 1,200 gold that has absolutely no value to anyone else.
And then passing a saving throw.
And then passing a saving throw.
Okay.
And then my flaw, this world is filled with predators and prey, and I sure as hell am not the prey for stalking Tenny.
Okay.
I mean, it's for her own good, honestly.
Who had the most creative solution to a problem?
That was McDohl. That was Edmont for lying about Emmanuel.
Okay.
Because he had to come up with a whole backstory and like what does this artsy fartsy thing mean?
So he was allowed to make that check at advantage specifically because people that buy art are very receptive to being told what it means. So basically any explanation would be good.
Picture that there's a scene in one of the episodes in like an old Doctor Who episode of the guy from Monty Python just staring at the TARDIS and like trying to interpret it artistically, and it makes absolutely no sense. And that's kind of what I picture.
Who did the most to further the party's goals?
That was Ekon.
For
Being the
spending
tax.
20,000 gold on spell scrolls?
Well, he got us all that money, and then he is part of the reason we had so much money to work with. But also, like, he then took that money and snorted it. Like, it's a real bad habit.
Clerics
It's-
be expensive bitches.
It's 2 campaigns in a row.
Who was the badass?
I want to say that is I had something for Victor. That
He had
was
something for Victor getting in his relationship.
No, that was the intangible. Intangible is Victor like having a tryst with a Vistani woman.
Mm-hmm. Are we awarding
and
him
then-
intangibles for that?
Yeah, intangibles for that, and badass is
We
Not
never actually got the
assassinating somebody.
badass.
I honestly I think it's very cool. I was gonna say Victor for the ability to call in hits. I think that's sick. He has the ability to call in hits. He hasn't used it yet, but he's willing.
Well, we established he wasn't willing. That was
Yeah.
the
He has
question.
nobody
2 years.
Does he have anybody to kill though? Right? That's not the kind of trigger you pull on a whim.
Now, you save that
I should hope.
Well, yeah, it is.
for when
Victor.
Evie really pisses him off.
Not. So we're awarding badass to Victor as well as intangibles?
I'm okay with that. If anybody else has anything else,
All right. And Edmont has our straw poll.
Hey,
We gained levels last week, didn't we?
yes, I gained a level and Saul gained a level.
Oh,
I
you're
don't
gonna love this.
think flips change though.
Blips are now worth 666 experience
Oh.
each.
Hey,
What's level 12?
Let me see.
See, I have it on
10,
my little-
100,000, is it?
Yeah,
12
you're
is 100,000. Yep.
Edmont, you have 4 and you earned 5. You're going to come in next week with 6.
Let me do some math.
Sure. I feel like Destil's already done all the math this week.
He did. do a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of that.
depressing.
There's no more math left. He did all of it.
This is not 3rd edition Destil. You did not have to do homework.
Yeah, I am coming in next session with 6.
All right. So you're rolling over 3. Ekon, you have 6. You just earned 4.
And I require 12.6 to level, so I will just roll over the 4.
Okay. Evie, you have 6 and you earned 4.
Mm-hmm.
Gina, you had 1 and earned 3.
Okay.
So you're coming in next week with 4.
Yes.
Victor had 6 and earned 5, so he's rolling over 5. And we rejoin next week. Everybody's seen that movie Inner Space, right?
Is that the same as Inside Out?
Kirstie Alley in that one?
To keep with the Doctor Who flow, there was one episode recently where they went inside a Dalek.
Well, I mean, everybody's played Final Fantasy Legend 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Or Breath
Before
of
we
Fire
go-
2.
Yeah. Before we go, I did need to give you my level 12
Reputation.
reputation. And I want it on record that I rolled, I basically produced 1,005 gold in value in work.
So is that your reputation, hard worker?
No, it's engineering foreman. To signify the work that she did over the 2 years setting up an engineering core.
Okay.
For break, I'm going to roll over 6 blips in a level.
So you're going to come in with...
0, because what could go wrong inside somebody else's body?
Oh, absolutely nothing.
It's a whimsical adventure, right?
All right.
I played Joe and Mac. I know what happens inside bodies.
The 2-year time jump is over. We have a proper adventure again next week. Thanks, everybody, for playing. See you next Sunday.
Later.
See ya.
Like,